Hello, it's Ash and welcome back to my channel and welcome into this stretch which you can use as a post-run stretch or a daily stretch. We're going to focus a lot on our legs. We're going to get a little bit of upper body and we're going to make a start on our back. So we're going to make a start on our back muscles, not actually on our back. We're going to come into a hands and knees position. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We're going to start with your spine, that's more accurate. We're going to press your belly to the floor and we're going to slowly start to bring your chin up as you're breathing in as you do that. And then you're going to round through your back and arch your back and think about pushing your pelvis towards your nose as you do that. Squeeze your breath out and just carry on going through that now in your own inhale and exhale. Nice and smoothly, and think about moving as many of those vertebrae, so wiggling the spine as much as you can, moving it. The movement lubricates the discs in between the vertebrae, so it keeps them happy. And in some of the worst cases, if we don't move our spine, it can fuse, particularly the lower area. So really focus on tucking and tilting the pelvis and try to match the movement with the breathing to create that little bit more space. And as we go through this, you don't ever force and be too aggressive with our stretching. So it's all about connecting to your body. And I know that sounds a little bit like, oh, what does that mean? What does connecting to your body mean? I literally mean pay attention, feel the sensations. Does this feel good for your body? Are you pushing too deep? Is your body going to benefit from this, or are you actually going to damage it? And just actually listen. Okay, and then just have a little bit of a wiggle. Look over the left shoulder, look over the right shoulder, just like side stretching. There's so many people that have stretched for so long and done yoga for so many years that still have the mindset of really pushing and stretching the body as far as possible. And then that just causes damage to the body. So you've got to be kind and you've got to always try and have the mindset of maybe like 7 out of 10. I say it a lot if you follow along with me, but 7 out of 10 intensity stretching. Just so you maybe feel it a little bit, but you don't always have to feel a really big stretch. Okay, and then this time what we're going to do is walk the hands forwards towards the top of the mat a little bit more and step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. And then start to wiggle that left foot out a little bit wider to the point that you start to open into that left inner thigh, so the groin or adductor muscle area. And then you can start to point those toes out a little bit. If you need to keep a bend in the knee, let's do that. But start to bring that foot down a little bit lower than the hand now. And then start to just rock the hips back a touch. So you start to feel that. We want to feel that on the inner thigh and maybe the back of the thigh a little bit as well. But rock the hips back a little bit till feel the stretch, feel a 7 out of 10, and then rock forwards. So again, massage. So go into a 7 out of 10 and then rock forwards. And just do that nice and kindly to your body. Again, have that mindset of you want your body to function better. So if we can challenge it in terms of the positions that we're putting in and we can challenge it in a nice way, we're going to increase our mobility and the function of our body. But if we're aggressive and we're brutal to the body, we're going to damage it. So keep breathing as you make this nice movement. Try and keep the jaw and shoulders relaxed. So stretching is not always just about the physical, it's about the mental side as well. So that's how we can focus on improving our mental wellness, by breathing. Just reducing the stress and the intensity of our run. Okay, then we're going to wiggle that left foot back onto the inside of the left hand now. So it comes all the way in. And then just walk it a little bit further out. And then maybe you can take that back knee further backwards if you need to, as we go back with the hands towards the back knee into a hamstring stretch. So right in the belly of the hamstring again. So just check, you can place your hand, that's where you should be feeling it, in the belly of the hamstring, not in the back of the knee. I say it a lot, I repeat myself, but that's the sciatic nerve that we're flossing. We don't want to be stretching it. You can pull the toes up a little bit to get the calf muscles if you want, but make sure your hands are safe and you're not like really forcing it. If you need to bend the knee more, let's do that. Make it safe for your body. Breathe. And then just get a little bit of a rock, a little bit of a massage towards the end of it. So I always like to keep it dynamic because for me it just feels more soothing. And it's mixing like the PNF stretching with slight dynamic stretching. So it's got that like nice feel with it. If you just dig the heel into the floor a little bit, not too aggressively, but just a little bit, you get that more PNF style of stretching, or proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. This is the long words. Okay, keep breathing. Keep the jaw and the shoulders relaxed again. And then walking the hands to the top of the mat, bring the foot down and step the left foot in a little bit towards the left hip. Now nice and strong through this left foot, and make sure the right knee feels comfortable. Get into a comfortable position so that you can lift the head and chest and come into this really deep lunge position. And then what we're working into here is this hip. We're getting some nice work into the hip, the knee, the ankle and the Achilles here. You should be just trying to let that knee come forwards. If the heel's lifting, don't keep pushing. But also the top of the right thigh, so the hip flexor area on the right side, so the right front hip area. Okay, pull elbows back to open up the chest and breathe in. Take that nice breath in, and as you breathe out, just let your head bow forwards a little bit and just release that stretch. Put the weight over the front foot more. Inhaling one more time, opening up that right hip flexor area. Exhale, coming forwards again. Just put the weight into the ankle, so stretch that Achilles and calf area. One more time, inhaling, pulling back. This time as you exhale, bring the hands to the floor, step that left foot back, and then just feel all of that work, that deep work that we just do. Just have a little bit of a move around and wiggle. Feel the difference between the left and the right sides. Okay, and then from here what we're going to do is we're going to step that right foot against the outside of the right hand, give it a wiggle so it starts to go out nice and wide, and then start to let it come below hand height, so you can get into a comfortable position, pointing those toes. I've not got much space in this side of the room, I'm going to have to come off the mat a little bit. And then we're going to walk, send the hips backwards, so we feel that stretch on the inner thigh again, and then rock forwards, nice and gently. Keep breathing as we do this. And this is a nice opportunity now. Again, I do it a lot, I say it a lot, but you can check in with how your run was. So you can ask yourself, how was my run? So how was your run? Is there anything that you could change for the next run? Or maybe you've noticed that maybe you need a little bit more rest, or maybe you could have done a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to start to bring that right foot, back onto the inside of the right hand. So wiggle it onto the inside of the right hand. Take the left knee back a little bit. Again, keep a good bend on that right knee if you need to. And make sure we don't ever fully lock the leg out, because we're going to be stretching the sciatic nerve there. Walk the hands backwards to the knee at the back. Find the right shape that gets a 7 out of 10 stretch. Drop the weight of the body a little bit down so the hip drops a little bit to open that hamstring. And then just slowly rock again with that. So you're slightly digging that right heel into the floor. Just check fists, fingers, elbows, shoulders, jaw, facial muscles. Just soften all of those. And try and breathe in and out through the nose. So my run was a nice, steady run in the sun. I had one hill in it, because I always like to challenge myself, keep myself mentally sharp as much as anything. But I did the rest of the run at a really nice, comfortable pace, and it's a really nice day here today. So today was one of those runs for me where it was like, today's a good run. I remember listening to, I can't remember who it was, there was a coach of an Olympic athlete saying that you should work in thirds. Thirds is a good rule to have, that if a third of your sessions are poor or bad, not good, a third of your sessions feel average, and a third of your sessions feel good, then that's a good kind of general rule to have. But we have this mindset that every single runner should feel good. So absolutely not. We all get those sessions that feel average. We all get those sessions that feel less than average and not so good. So that's usual. Okay, walking the hands to the top of the mat. Again, place that right foot nice and strongly into the floor. Make sure the back knee's safe as we push into that high lunge position. Hands to the hips, pull the shoulders back, opening up that left hip flexor area, and also the right ankle. And knee and hip. I'm going to breathe in, pull backwards. As you exhale, just load that front leg and the calf and the ankle area. Inhaling, nice and tall, pull backwards, open up that left hip flexor area. Exhale slowly forwards. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come back to the front, hands down. Step that right foot back and just have a little bit of a wiggle. Move around. And then slowly start to walk the hands forward, bring the elbows down, and then touch the toes together into that Sphinx pose for a moment. Just want to check that we're squeezing the lower back muscles, so lifting the head and chest a little bit, and also just gently squeeze the bum to help the lower back out. Just pull the shoulders away from the ears. Again, breathing through the nose and out through the nose if you can. And then if you've got a hard surface next to the mat, you might need to get yourself a blanket or a towel, so maybe pause the video. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the left knee up to hip height. And then what we're going to do is open that left foot wider than the left knee, so like a frog's leg. And we're getting into that inner thigh, right into the hip, right into the inner thigh, the groin, adductor area. Push the hips into the floor. And again, breathe. So you're active through the lower back, so you're lifting the head and chest again, but not too aggressively. Make sure it's just the right amount. Listen to your body. Make sure that you can breathe here. Have a little bit of a smile. Again, smiling is so important for your mood, for your mental well-being. And maybe notice how you're shifting, again, that state from the hyped up, intense buzziness of the run maybe, and it's just, everything's softening. I can feel that there's a little bit more space in my brain. Heart rate's come down. Okay, so this time, what we're going to do now is we're going to stay in this position, but bring the head and chest down. And then if we can, we're going to try and get hold of so get the head comfortable, and we're going to try and get hold of the right foot with the right hand like this. So it's quite an intense stretch. It just makes this quad stretch a little bit deeper with that leg out left into the groin stretch as well. So maybe if you can't get this, you can pause the video. If you've got a strap, a yoga strap, or maybe like a belt or a dressing gown belt, you can get one of those now. Wrap it around the foot and use the belt to pull. But if not, just slowly start to pulse now. Again, 7 out of 10, then release. Just massage into that quad area. Going up into the front of the hip, so the hip flexors. Such a nice area because, again, in modern life, the hip flexors tend to shorten because we sit a lot. So it feels like a really nice area to stretch, especially if you're an office worker. Okay, slowly release the right foot and then bring the left foot in and then just pause back into Sphinx pose a minute. Come back into the elbows here and then just feel the after effects. Just connect to those, maybe the tingles, maybe the little light stretchy feeling, maybe that sense of refreshed feeling in the legs and then maybe the inner thigh. Just connect to that. How does that feel? Okay, and then I'm going to go right knee out, again up to hip height. Take the right foot wider, like a frog's leg, wider than the knee. Again, we're pushing the hips into the floor, thrusting them down into the hips, into the floor. Again, breathe in, just squeeze the lower back. Check the body again for any unnecessary tension. So just roll the shoulders, roll the neck, have a little bit of a wiggle of the jaw and the facial muscles. So you can become aware of regular patterns of where you hold tension. People tend to clench the jaw, or like scowl a little bit when something becomes uncomfortable, or pause and hold the breathing. And all this just does, it just adds up little bits of tension. Okay, and then slowly again come back down onto the front. Keep the right leg out nice and wide. We're going to take hold of that left foot again into the left hand. And then we're going to massage again. So thrusting the right hip in towards the floor. Massage again into a 7 out of 10 stretch. And release. So you're pulsing nice and gently. And then notice which side feels tighter. Is it left or the right? Okay, and then just release that left leg. Bring the right leg in. Come back into that Sphinx pose onto the elbows. And again, notice how that feels now. Notice the after effects. Notice how nice it feels to stretch those areas of the body. Again, we're just going to come up nice and slowly. And then you are ready to start the rest of your day. I hope you can feel that sense of relief and refreshness. Let me know in the comments. I'll just put thanks for the video, Ash. I'll give it a thumbs up. Maybe even share this video. And if you're interested in lots of course and exclusive content, have a look in the link in the description below. But well done for caring for your body. And I shall see you in the next video.